Orpheus is a unique character in Greek mythology. He is the first musician. He can enchant everything with his lyre, he animates the stones around him with his art. Orpheus corresponds in many ways to the magician archetype. He made a journey to the underworld and came back alive. This journey of him is a very interesting story, also very important to us all humans, to examine the myth. Orpheus's wife, Eurydice, died from a snake bite. Her loving husband mourned greatly, and decided to go to Hades, the underworld, to ask Eurydice back to the living world. He passed through all of horrors, enchanted the guardian dog Cerberus, and made it before Hades, and his queen Persephone. His music made even Hades shed a tear. So he agreed to release Eurydice, but with one condition. Until she comes back to the land of the living, Orpheus must not look back to her. They left, walked for a while, but Orpheus began to feel uncomfortable. He doubted if she was really there. This fear and doubt made him look back eventually, and when he did, Eurydice vanished. Orpheus began to mourn again, but this time he is killed by women, got decapitated by followers of the god of wine Dionysus, the Maenads. Even after he was killed and decapitated, his mouth was still singing. The experiences and emotions that humanity has experienced over and over again for thousands of years are reflected in myths. Here we see the reaction to a loss. Loss is one of the difficult tasks of being human. Almost everyone experiences this, although in different ways. Someone missed a great opportunity that would change their life, someone lost a loved one they valued very much, someone witnessed the destruction of something they worked hard for. These experiences are common human tragedy, but the point is how we respond to them. Orpheus remains stuck in his loss, refusing to look forward. He wants Eurydice back, that is, what he lost. But once it happened, it happened. He does not accept this, considers breaking cosmic rules, tries to do the impossible and bring a dead person back to life, and even risks facing Hades. He completes his journey to the underworld, because he is gifted, he surpasses Charon and Cerberus with his music and art and appears before Hades and Persephone. His song makes even Hades cry. Those who do not move on with their lives and remain stuck in the past, subject themselves to constant torture, but they also gain this poetic power through this torture and passion. This energy within, his romantic side made Orpheus capable to create these effects in the first place. Ancient Roman poet Horace said either a man is crazy, or he's writing poetry. But even the most talented among us cannot break the rules of the gods. This is an universal theme, a myth that reminds us we are all humans. In the book of Job, after Job lost everything and wanted to know why God is doing all these terrible things to him, God faces and asks Job if can he make a deal with the Leviathan. Leviathan is a sea monster, in this case the destructive side of the world, the other side of the god. He acknowledges that he cannot make a deal, he cannot run away from the destructive power of the god. No matter how we live, make accomplishments, how big our name is, we cannot beat death. But the things we did will echo, like Orpheus's songs. After the Maenads chopped off his head, songs were still pouring out of his mouth. We cannot say his death was a win for hedonism over spirituality. There's no true destroying this magic of art, that's why after his death, the gods placed his lyre among the stars. When we look at a work of our favorite painter, listen to a song we love very much, or read a great poem or novel, we are fascinated, and these works have a significant impact on us. This is the power of art. Orpheus is the main artist. Artists can enchant us even long after their death. Artist and his work's influence lives on. Now let's look deeper for another meaning. Why Eurydice dies short after the wedding, and why the snake? If we take a look at serpents in mythology, we see they play many roles. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh becomes terrified when his beloved friend Enkidu dies. After fear of death, he began his search for immortality. He had a very long and difficult journey, and found a herb which provides immortality, but a snake stole the herb and Gilgamesh lost his chance. According to the founder of analytical psychology, Carl Jung, the soul, anima, is the feminine part of a man, and it is the archetype of life. Anima is associated with creative power. Orpheus tried to attribute all these values to one person, Eurydice. Most people make this mistake and do harm to both themselves and others. The soul cannot be embodied. You cannot touch the soul, you cannot reflect its features on a living person. If you do this, the snake will soon appear from your unconscious, which in this story happened right after the wedding, and you will suffer the consequences of your actions. Orpheus's problem was that he sought his soul as an object. Anima revealed herself as a snake, and said to Orpheus, "Eurydice is not what you're looking for." Snake told Gilgamesh that only the soul cannot experience death, because it is the life itself. When we look at it this way, we understand Hades's condition in a different way, like a joke. He was aware that Orpheus would not be able to see what he was looking for. When he couldn't stand it and looked back, she vanished, like a dream. In the Gospel of John, Christ says to Mary Magdalene after his resurrection, "Do not touch me." This phrase may seem confusing at first, but what is meant here is, do not objectify me. Whatever happened, happened. He is dead, his time on earth has come to an end. But his impact will live on. Jesus was perfectly aware of that. His words, life, and views influenced billions of people. We can say this is what the resurrection means exactly. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away, as he says. Jesus conquered death by acknowledging it, but Orpheus did the opposite. He did not accept death and tried to beat it.